time for fifth quarter on KALB. Sponsored by Christus St. Francis Cabrini Hospital.
And welcome into the final full edition of the fifth quarter here on News Channel 5. 12 weeks of continuous high school football coverage has gotten us to the regional round. 10 local schools remain, and of course, they advance. We will continue to have all highlights and reaction every Friday night, but the quarterfinals begin next week. So let's find out what local teams are heading there. We'll start off with the #1 ranked team in the area, Gina, hosting their rival Caldwell Parish to kick off their postseason run. Giants at the goal line after a big stop, and Zarek Jones gets the rock and punches it in to get us started tonight. Gina now kicking off after going up 14. Xavier Brown puts it where no one else is at, and the Giants get it. It's like an onside kick, just really far.
Beautiful shot by our intern, David.
Exactly, yeah. Spartans in Gina territory. Shaw looking back to pass, but Jacob Belcher snatches it out the air to get the big red zone stop. And first play off the turnover, it's the fake end around, and it's going to be Jones getting the ball, and then he is gone. He makes one man miss with a stiff arm. And my favorite part is this. He looks like he has clear green grass all the way. Nope, he cuts back, trucks the guy, and then gets in the end zone. That's just what Zarek Jones does. Gina, big winners. They're going to the quarterfinals after a big win tonight.
Taking you to Avoyles, the Mustangs trying to keep their Cinderella run alive after pulling off the upset, beating Kinder last week. Raiders trying to run the ball, and Xavier Pryor flattens the running back like an iron on church clothes. Big stop by the junior. He's a big kid, and Avoyles defense, they came out swinging early. Here we have another stampede of Mustangs stopping the run game from Pine, and this one was led by Braden Tanner, but Pine would eventually find the end zone on the drive as Dawson Tollier gets the Raiders on the board 7-0. Avoyles' Zayden Williams would answer back with a score of his own. The Mustangs, however, were unsuccessful on the two-point conversion. They would go into half down 7-6. Pine was too much, though, in the end for the Mustangs, as they would lose this one 27-6, ending their season.
Some other scores. Check out this. On the road, the Trojans go on and beat Brother Martin 23-0. We'll have highlights of that one. And, of course, Manny, they are rolling right now, 45-0 over Seville Plaquemines. Staying back here, the 9-1 Bunkie Panthers had 1 week vacation as they got set for tonight's game with Episcopal. Bunkie is a win away from their first quarterfinals berth since the 1980s. But maybe that bye week had them out of sync a little bit. Early on, Dylan Compton would be sacked by a pair of Knights. Bunkie would be forced to punt, and Braden George would take it around the outside. Episcopal quickly went up 14-0. Next possession, running back gets the carry. Looks like he will be stripped on the way down. We'll see it again in slow motion. It should have been ruled a fumble. That is clearly a fumble. The refs say otherwise, but this, it might be the biggest ball don't lie moment this season. Next play, Bunkie calls it up again. This time it is Episcopal's ball, and that would lead to a Knights field goal as they go up 17-0 here to start the second. Right before the half, Bunkie putting a drive together. Compton doing what you're told not to do. He throws it across his body, but he connects with Ron Patterson. Panthers are driving now in the red zone until this mishandle on the snap sets Bunkie all the way back. A team that scored 30 or more points 8 times this season was held scoreless at the half. Episcopal ends Bunkie's good season 38-14. More playoff games to come. Stay with us.
Fifth Quarter Scoreboard is sponsored by Antune Hospitality Group's family of restaurants, including Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen and Outlaws Barbecue. Louisiana's most wanted, always the winning call.
Let's get back in the action. St. Mary's coming off a first-round bye, hosting Glenbrook. Glenbrook with the ball to start in Apaches. They'll be driving early. Easton Sanders hands it off to Cade Vining and Apaches with the tush push. Gets on the board first, 6-0. St. Mary's here looking to respond as the quarterback Mixon Bankson looking long for Ethan Busby. Instead, Chase Centell snags it for the INT. York.
That's one-on-one crime right there.
Yeah, York trying to fire up his guys, and this won't work though. Sanders hands it off to Chase Centell, and he just finishes the job after getting that pick. It's 12-0 Glenbrook. Tigers on upset alert, but here in the second, Mixon Bengtson rolls out the pocket, has time, finds the Colorado State commit. Payne Williams is going to be a kicker at the next level. He shows off the skills as a receiver. It's a 2-point game, but right before the half, Glenbrook with the touchdown. It's 19-10 going into the third quarter, but coming out of half, St. Mary scores on their first drive, chipping into Glenbrook's lead. It's Bengtson calling his own number, taking it for the lead. Is 23-19 for the first time. Glenbrook looking for 6. Instead, Ethan Busby this time picking it off, in the defense stepping up for St. Mary's. And Bengtson keeps it in for himself, mixing and mingling all his way into the end zone, and he is fired up. St. Mary's heading back to the quarterfinals. They scored 20 straight in the second half to pull off the win tonight over Glenbrook.
What a comeback.
Yeah, big one.
Exciting right now. One, that you get to play another week. The seniors get to play another week. You're in the quarterfinals for the second straight year, and that's a pretty big ordeal. Our kids being competitive. They looked at me at halftime, and my seniors looked and said, "Coach, we're winning this one tonight." And I thought that was the edge of how our kids played. I mean, we've got a bunch of dudes over there that they like to go 48 minutes and get after it.
Dylan Barrett has Manny in the second round of the playoffs in his first year leading the Tigers, taking on South Plaquemines. Top of the ball game from the 7-yard line, Hayden Evans would connect to Jeremiah James for a 7-yard touchdown. James had a school record 7 touchdowns a season ago.
I meant a game ago.
I
wrote that in. It's a game ago. Yeah,
Later on, it's a handoff to LSU commit Tylen Singleton, and he takes it all the way down the sideline for the big touchdown run, which would make it 14-0 Manny. Beginning of the second quarter, Evans would find his right-hand man for the night, Jeremiah James, for a touchdown pass. Later in the second quarter, Rod Parker would throw it up, and it's intercepted by Kendrick Goosey. He'll take this one for 50 yards to set them up for a field goal. It was all Manny tonight, dominating once again. Manny wins this one 45-0.
Manny's defense put up a Goosey in this one. Some other scores here. Calvary shuts out Menard, ending the Eagles season 49-0. Homer squeaks out a win over Oakdale. Oakdale almost went on the road and beat the Pelicans, but it's 34-32. Homer moves on. Heading down south now, Tioga on the road taking on St. Paul's. First drive, it's Case Malone with the keeper, and he had everyone fooled, even the cameraman. He gives Tioga the early lead here over the Wolves. Next drive, Wolves respond to Cody Corrales, punches it in from a few yards out, and we have ourselves a tied game. Second quarter now, Tioga driving once again. Travis Adams with the counter, and he has some space, makes a cut. Needs some ankles on the field, too. Good gosh. Tioga retakes the lead 14-7. Right before the half, it's a 14-10 game. Corrales once again goes in for his second score of the half. Wolves took a 3-point lead at the break. Coming out the locker room, Tioga, they must have left their tackling in the locker room, because look at this. Ben Busen shaking off a couple guys, and he is gone. St. Paul's will score the final 31 points in this game as Tioga's season comes to an end in a 38-14 loss. But stay with us. We have the game for Ash and Brother Martin. We see how the Trojan defense put up that shutout. Plus, our plays of the week are up next.
The fifth quarter score ticker is sponsored by Hickson Autoplex. Hickson has it.
Welcome back. How about the Ash Trojans on the road in New Orleans at number 4? Brother Martin, a tough task. Let's show you, though, the few highlights from the first half. Ash scores the only points of the first period with this field goal, but the real storyline was the Trojan defense not letting anybody through. This was a huge fourth down stop. Ash led 3-0 at the break. Second half, we go. We'll switch over to our friends at 446 Sports. Look, Ty Feaster's dad and his brother will be with Louisiana Christian's playoff game tomorrow, but tonight his son was slinging it to Darius Washington for the first TD of the game. Fourth quarter, it's crunch time, and Feaster firing it over the middle to Tanner Townsend, but watch the run after the catch, dragging defenders from the 30-yard line all the way down inside of the 10. What a run. That's it. JT Lindsay would extend the Trojans' lead and put this one out of reach here late in the fourth. Perfect time for just the second shutout of the season for the Trojans. Ash staying alive with a 23-0 win. And with all the great playoff action we've seen tonight, it's time to reveal our plays of the night presented by Farm Bureau. We got to go back to Gina. This guy's been featured so many times this year for play of the week. It's Derek Jones. The run itself would have been great if he would have just kept straight. It's the cutback to then truck your rival and beat him for the second time this season, this time ending their season.
Just running through a dude's face. It's despicable.
Number 7 has probably been in it 7 times this year.
Avoyles freshman DB Kelvin Jones intercepts the ball like a shady forward signal and takes an army of Raiders to get him down on the ground. They even ripped his jersey in half on this one. If we keep the camera panning on James, the freshman, hyped of this moment. I mean, this could have been a huge momentum-changing moment for the Mustangs, but I mean, let's get a look at the back of his jersey. I mean, it's literally ripped in half. It was going to take an army to get him down, and that just shows.
Looks like Draymond Green there.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is the play you just saw. Tanner Townsend dragging defenders. He gets touched around the 35-yard line, and it takes 2 and 3 guys to get him down all the way down inside of the 10-yard line. The big tight end, we don't shout him out enough, but that was a huge play for them, for the Trojans. And out of those plays, which one was the best? You go and tell us. We'll have a pull up shortly on the website to go and vote. Thank you guys truly for voting all season long. Voting will be open all weekend, and the winner will be revealed on Sports Night.
And from the top plays to the top athlete, who deserves to be our next ACA Athlete of the Week? You can nominate your favorite athlete to be this week's winner. Just go on our Athlete of the Week page on our website and fill out the form. The winner is announced every Thursday right here on News Channel 5.
And for the final time this season, we want to give a huge shout out to Antune Hospitality Group's family of restaurants. It's not just me and Nigel and Mary Margaret. It's all of our entire crew. They fed all season long, 12 weeks of this. So we do appreciate it all season long. And look, that'll do it for the regional round. We are now off to the quarters with just a few teams left remaining. And tune in for the 5th quarter post-game show over on Facebook Live, where we'll have updated playoff brackets as teams are now just 2 wins away from the state championship game. We'll see you there.
Can't get enough football? KALB's 5th quarter continues online in minutes with more highlights, post-game interviews, and analysis on KALB.com and Facebook Live. Sponsored by Christus St. Francis Cabrini Hospital.